Good morning, friends. How is everybody today?
There we go.
We have some fun friends joining us today. In the rain today. Sid, what day is it?
Whoa! It is our favorite day of the week.
It is
Boxing Day. Boxing Day.
Day.
All right, everyone.
All right. Hello, friends. Look at that.
Live from the studios in Kitchener, Ontario, Sid Fit brings you the Sid and Sonia Show. Here we go. Let's kick it off.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing today? I'm
Well, how are you today?
good, thanks. And how are you doing today, Patrice?
I'm doing good. Thank you. And you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. It's Boxing Day. We're always doing good on Boxing Day. I see, Stephen, if you want to join, I don't know how many we can get in here. Look at those Big 12s on here. Let's have a boxing party today.
My man, they're Big 12.
Big man, big man. Yeah,
Big
let's
man.
go.
Nice.
Nice. All right, so Patrice, where are you joining us from? Where are you right now?
I'm actually at the gym now in Montreal at the Club de Boxeless Eastside Boxing Club. I've been there for a long time. I've been there almost since the beginning, so it's been my place for a long time now.
Nice, Montreal, beautiful. And Jaye, where are you joining us from, Jaye?
I'm joining from my gym out here in British Columbia, Jaye Fitness. That's where I do all my conditioning.
Hey,
BC,
right?
Montreal,
All the
Quebec,
coast.
Ontario.
I
Let's
know,
go.
it's like a whole little
Thank God,
matchup.
thank
We just
God.
need like the middle now.
No.
Steve Plagat, man, where are you at today?
Steve Plagat, yeah.
We'll just do it, get him, and then we'd have the whole.
I'm interested to know about the boxing scene in both areas. First, let's start with Jaye in BC. So I'm not so much familiar with the professional boxing scene in BC. Tell me about how has it been getting fights, getting sparring partners, that sort of things. These are big things when you're pro. How has it been in BC?
Great question. It's been quite the challenge, to be honest with you. I haven't had any sparring really in BC since March of last year. So all my sparring and stuff like that's pretty much been coming in Toronto now. So I've been fortunate to have guys like Big 12 and some other gentlemen that I've met in the last year that have been starting to give me some work and stuff like that. So it's good we get to push ourselves.
Nice. And you know how it goes, right?
Yeah.
You got to have that the iron sharpened iron kind of deal, right? And as a professional, especially in Canada, you realize how important it is to build relationships with the other fighters. You're probably not going to fight them, and if you do, sparring is different than a fight. So if you fight them, so be it. But to get to that next level, you guys got to work together. Patrice, how's it been for you in Montreal in terms of getting fights, in terms of sparring?
For let's start with sparring. I think sparring it's always a challenge too. Even if we're in big city in Montreal, we have a lot of people around, but I just think, like you said, a lot of people refuse to spar this guy because they might have a possibility to fight. But like we said, sparring is not a fight. Fights is different. There's the pressure. There's the hype that the opponent or the guy has. But I think it's pretty hard sometimes to find. And I'm gonna say the right partner, but we're in a big city, so there's a lot of show, there's a lot of fight. He just came from a fight, so he won't spar no more. He has a fight coming up. You're not the right match for that fight. So even if we're in a big city, it's supposed to be complicated, but I don't think it's complicated as British Columbia, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So we have it different way. I think it's more like the fact that people don't want to spar a possible opponent, and there's nothing like it. If you fight a fight, it's not a sparring.
Yeah.
That's a great comment, Patrice, because my last fight against Aboken, that right there was the example. This was one of those gentlemen that I got to meet over the last year and a bit. Originally, I had some reservations about sparring him because I knew that he could be a possible opponent. And my manager, Danny McGarvey, was like, Jay, you know what? You may never get to fight this guy, so take the work because that might be all you ever get, right? So, oddly enough, we get the work, and then a year and a bit later, we find ourselves in a position where we're actually getting ready to meet in the ring. And I can assure you, anybody that's even seen a few clips of my sparring that I've posted between me and Bo there on my Instagram, how I fight is not at all how I spar, right? And so I'm just fortunate that, at least, like I said, I got guys like Big 12 there. Unless I'm undisciplined and I, don't make Bridger weight, then I don't ever have to worry about him making my weight class. So we can try and kill each other, man, and it's all love. There's no chippiness. There's none of that stuff that Patrice is talking about. You know what I mean? Like, he's in his division trying to be king, and I'm trying to do the same thing in mine. Right?
Nice. Bridger weight. I mean, I didn't know it was Bridger weight that Jaye was fighting at, and the only other person I know that fights at Bridger weight is
Just the one time, though.
Oh, he's not a Bridger weight?
No. Rizicki? Yeah, he's not a Bridger weight.
We got Oscar Rivas. As a Bridger weight.
Oscar Rivas.
Oscar Rivas.
So there's no chance that Jaye and...
I think Rizicki likes to take fights. He'll take a fight. Mm-hmm. So, I can't say he would say no.
Yeah. Have you ever sparred with Rizicki?
Let's put it this way. He's one of those gentlemen I was talking about that I've started to build a rapport with, and we've had some good work so far on a couple of occasions. The reality is that we're both warriors. We both don't back down. Our sparring's probably more entertaining than most fights you'll ever see out there. Any which way you cut it, like you guys said, when you're doing work with guys, you have to keep it in the mind that could be a possibility. But let's just get real. He's inside of the top 10 in all the world ranking organizations right now. He's way ahead of me as far as, fights and wins. Like, he would have to have some catastrophically horrible luck to be in a situation where that fight makes sense for him. You know what I mean?
Hold on, no, let's just say, because Rizicki has had fighters back out last minute. Right? It's happened a few times to him now. If that happened and they picked up the phone and they were like, do you want to come have the fight, would you do it?
Hold on a second. I can already answer that. Because this man said that they've done work together, and he said it was good work. And I can imagine what was going on, the blood, and he said it was good work. Listen, I already know a lot about you.
But I want to guess on there.
Okay, right.
All right. If it comes up and they're like, we lost an opponent, we can be like, but we have this clip that says you can have a fight. I'm going places.
Go ahead.
Well, what I can say is I've signed every contract that's ever come across my table.
Yes, sir.
I've never said no to a fight in my life since I was 10 years old.
Nice.
The reality is I will never say no to a fight that my manager, Danny McGarvey, says, Jaye, I got to fight for you. Because if he's coming to me and he's saying that, he's not going to waste my time and be like, hey, Jaye, I got a fight you're never going to win. The reality is I believe in myself like nobody else does, man.
Okay.
And to be completely honest, there's a lot of people out there that think I'm delusional for being where I'm at. But 5 fights ago, they were snickering, saying he's 0-4. And so, bet against me, doubt me, go ahead, hate on me. All you're doing is really just fueling up my gas tank, making sure that I piss in your cornflakes. That's it. You know what I mean? I can't even imagine why anybody would want to hate on somebody that grinds so hard, that does their own thing, that stays in their own lane. But I tell you, there's just as many people that hate on me that got love for me. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, people's personal opinion doesn't mean all that much to me, you know what I mean? 10 years ago, people said I would never box, I'd never get out of jail, I'm doing life. Are you crazy? You want to box? I'm never going to let you out. Well, I'm out, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm not causing nobody no harm unless they're in the ring. That's the bottom line. So, anybody that wants to get behind me, all they're really doing is getting behind somebody that's trying to just do some good with their life. That's it.
Now, Patrice?
Yeah.
Your last fight was a few months ago.
Yep.
And I have not seen you fight in Canada for a while now, but COVID hit us, so that's kind of like falling out. But if you got the chance to pick someone in Canada right now to fight, who are you picking?
Whoever they say is the best. Whoever says the best, that's the one I want. I was on the top. before COVID, and COVID happened, so didn't have the chance to fight a lot. But whoever claim is on the top, I'm down to fight. I think I'm the number one here. I believe I'm the number one here. I've been the number one here, and I will claim and get my position back again.
Nice.
Nice.
I just really want to see some more Canadians fighting Canadians,
Mm-hmm.
and like finding the best of Canada.
Yeah.
And then
taking it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I started, I said to myself that to be sure I can make it to the world, have to be the best in Canada. So I want to fight everyone that I can fight in Canada first before going anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
So I tried to make it happen. I fought, most of my fight was Canadian. Most of them was Canadian. If we check on my record, I have a lot of Canadian in my fight. So after this, we open to the world to go to the US and this and that to, and outside of the world to have the best challenge. Because I'm not trying to make like a 35-year career.
Yeah.
There's one day I need to stop that boxing thing, and I want to actually prove and do whatever I want, and at the end before I quit that sport.
Beautiful. Patrice, how long have you been a pro now? Connectivity issues. It's okay. It'll come back. Yes, here it goes. Right? Snap. Oh, there is. Oh, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah. How long have you been a pro?
I didn't hear the question. If it was for me, sorry.
How long have you been a professional boxer?
Oh, I think I've been a pro for like 6 years now. I think it's my 6 years.
Yeah.
If I've probably 4 year active, but the COVID we lost 2 years that we definitely will not get back. So I think 6 years on the go.
Nice. So we're gonna help some young fighters here. Give me one thing that you've added to your training in the past 6 years that you didn't when you started, and one thing you've taken away from your training or lifestyle that over the past 6 years. What's one thing you've added?
Listening. I think I listen more. I think the fact that I was not mind closed. I was open mind, but eventually I noticed that I probably was not really listening to what the coach or the team was saying. I was listening, but I was not applying what they're doing. So I think that's one big thing that I changed, and that I can see the progression for it. So I think the first thing people should, and it's put trust on your coach. If you trust your coach, if you listen to your coach, and you apply what they say, because they see something from the outside that you don't see in the inside, you know. So I think if you listen carefully and actually execute and go with it, give them the control. You don't have to control everything, and you will go actually pretty far, and it will exactly help you to get better as a boxer.
Awesome. I'm just going to say, I could tell Jaye listens well, because one of the things he said was, if my manager puts it in front of me, I don't even need to think about it. What I do is I fight. I get in the ring and I fight. I hit people in the head, and let the managers do what they do, and I'll do what I do. So he trusts, he listens, so I agree. And what's one thing that you've kind of taken away or put to the side?
Recovering. I used to finish my fight, and the next Monday I was back to the gym, thinking that I was losing time if I was not in the gym. But your body needs to heal, your body needs to recover. So, hey, if your team say, hey, take a week off, take 2 weeks off after your fight, take 3 weeks off, take those weeks off. Put your mind to something. I don't mean like stop boxing and you can't go to the gym, but don't try to perform every single time. That's a recovering time. So take the time to heal, go see your physio, see massages, whatever. Make sure your body's healthy for the next one, because the next fight, the 2-month camp, will be long, painful. And if they postpone that fight, because that happened to me often, if they postpone that fight, your camp will be longer and longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and the idea is, right, you're going for tougher and tougher fights, as you're progressing. So your body needs that recovery to have the energy and the stamina to go through that training camp to get through that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's why your coaches are so important, because it's individual. They watch your performance, they watch your recovery, they know how much time you need for your body to recover to be ready for the next camp, and so that's why you have to trust your coaches. So great points. Jaye, give me one thing that you've added since you've been a pro.
First of all, I'd like to say I really enjoyed listening to what Patrice had to say there, and I found it very interesting that we have some similar parallels there. But what I'd added to my training as a pro, I think more than anything, it was mindset. Like when I first got out and was trying to get into the pros, and out here in BC, not from BC, I was trying to fit in, trying to, do a little politicking and have people, like me. And, realistically what happened is you fall into this nice guy mode, and it wasn't really working for me. I had to get myself to a place where, after basically getting hit with the Hail Mary and taking a loss in BC, getting hit with a perfectly timed shot, everybody basically bailed on me and was like, broke me off. And so, it was one of those things where I had to explain to people, look, like, I'm going to figure this out, man. It was a lucky punch, and, I'm going to show you. And, I think that was one of those things that it was a pivotal moment for me, because I really realized at that point, like, it really was me. There was no team. There was no anybody around me. It was people basically placating to what I had to say, right? So, I changed my mindset and got back to that person that won 4 Canadian titles in a row as a kid, and just stopped giving a crap about what anybody had to say and just do me. And, I think that's the one thing that I added, is just I brought back the monster. You, like, literally, when we're sparring, when we're fighting, it's all the same. I got the same dead look in my eyes, right?
I can imagine, brother, for sure. Give me one thing that you've stopped or you've taken out of your regiment when you became a pro.
Well, what I would say is very much so along the lines of Patrice. I actually don't have a coach or a trainer, so literally I do all my coaching, my training, my strength conditioning, my game planning, my film study. I was fortunate to have a good friend, Frankie, that held the pads for me and helped keep me sharp and stuff while I was trying to get to training camp and stuff. But really, the one thing that I've taken out, I guess, would be more or less the addition of recovery. And, being a strength and conditioning coach myself by day, really I had to use my education to keep costs low. So recovery was one of those things that I really started to expand as a professional in my own life, and also in my professional life, starting to look at, fascia line training, all kinds of other things that I do behind the scenes, the recovery pod that people see me in all the time. There's literally only one guy in the world that spends more time in that pod, from my understanding, and it's Novak Djokovic, and he owns one. So, basically, I believe I'm going to keep myself in the game long enough because of that recovery to continue to climb the ranks, right? And see where I end up when I'm done.
Nice. I haven't seen you in the recovery pod. Is that a hyperbaric chamber? What's your recovery pod? Just tell me a little bit about it, because I'm interested.
It's actually called a CVAC machine. It looks like an egg almost. I guess the best way to describe it is it's like a new age hyperbaric chamber, but it doesn't just bring you up to one altitude. It sets a program, and you're basically put through these algorithms, right, where you're rising and falling. It's really good for recovery. It's good for performance, and to be honest with you, it's one of the primary reasons why I haven't made the shift and moved back east, where I'm actually from, the Maritimes or Central Canada. There's only one in Canada right now, and it's the one that I use that's accessible. So
interesting.
I believe in the technology, and I believe in the recovery aspects enough that I'm willing to risk having my career slowed or hurt slightly because I'm not in the Mecca, but I believe that I'm good enough that people in Toronto and Montreal are going to start wanting to bring me into maybe their camps and stuff, their training camps, and give me an opportunity to prove myself, right? I mean, 6 months ago, nobody would have believed I even belonged in the ring with Riziki or, you know, a year ago with Big 12 or any of these other guys, right? But the people that see the work, they know I belong. They know that I'm legit, right?
No, you do. You put in the work, and I had the pleasure of seeing you fight when you were last in Richmond Hill. I think it was like a year ago now. Mm-hmm. And he puts on a good show. He puts on a good fight, and you can see that the passion and the love for the sport. So it's really nice to watch. I have to see Patrice fight again though live because it's been too long.
He's a beast. He's a beast. I've watched a few of his fights. Very clean, very technically sound. He's a treat to watch as well.
He really is.
Well, I actually want to ask him about that too, because I mean, the very first time I met Patrice, we ended up.
Oh, wait! I'm sorry. That was the old. I remember this time. I have film of this, guys. If you would like to have footage of this story, okay, please let me know. I have some buried in the archives. I will happily, with enough likes here, I will happily pull that out of my archives.
So yes, Patrice and I got in the ring. We did a few rounds, and so kind, such a gentleman. I know he was just going, you know, we were just having fun. And I've watched some of your fights, and I want to know, like, when you're in there, are you thinking, okay, let me knock this person out, let me outpoint this person, let me outsmart this person, let me dismantle this person? What's your mindset in there? Because sometimes the most quietest, humble people are like the most vicious. And I want to know what's going on inside. What are you thinking when you're in there?
So some people might say that sounds a little bit wrong or whatever, but the way I put it, it's I want to make that person quit, and I mean quit the sport.
Yeah.
I want them to remember me.
Yeah.
So every time they have to jump or somebody say, "Hey man, do you want to fight Pat again?" Nope. There's no chance.
No rematch. No rematch.
No rematch ever. No rematch ever. I want to dominate that fight, but in a technical way, you know. So I take my time. I start slow. I see what mistake they do, what they do, and if they want to play tough, even if I'm long, I'm gonna play tough. I'm gonna stay inside and fight with him. I'm able to go for the 12 round, whatever. I did my 10 round, and I did everything. So I'm able to box and fight. But inside the ring, I don't know why, but I think every boxer personality kind of changed and replaced their own life personality for something else, probably something deep inside, or I don't know, but it got replaced by something. And that part of me is a mean one. It's a mean one. I want to fight, and if they give me the advantage to break them, I will break them.
Yeah.
But with all love after this, that's for sure, because I have no
I
hate.
will break you with all love. I'm a real humanitarian.
Yeah.
Him coming out after and being like, "Okay, are you okay? Like, can I get you?"
Oh yeah.
Like
You know,
Patrice, like
after my fight, I often go eat with them. I go eat with my opponent, take a coffee with them right after the weigh-in, drink coffee, talk to them. There's nothing is personal. It's a fight. I do appreciate them 100%. I care for them, but in the ring, I don't know. I don't think about that at all. It's a fight. It's a fight.
Yeah.
I got to win. It's a fight.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I've seen him spar with you. I've seen him dancing with my daughter when at the time she was like 2 years old, and they're dancing away together. And then I've seen Patrice fight, and they are not the same people.
Yeah.
But it's the same with you, Jaye. I mean, I've had wonderful conversations and interactions with you as well. You're so kind. And then I've seen
He's very respectful. Very respectful.
He's extremely respectful.
Yeah.
And then you see him fight, and then I'm like, okay, it's okay. I don't need to. I don't have to step in the ring with you guys, so I am happy on my side.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
Good. All right. Well, we are coming to the end of our show, and what we do here is the rapid fire. So we get to ask Two questions. So we get to ask you two questions each. Sonia will ask one, I'll ask one. Could be about anything, and you got to answer honestly, or we'll jump through the camera and get you, all right?
I love that you keep you got to answer on every single one. But
I know, they did.
Okay, we got to stop with that one. We're terrible. Answer honestly, okay, guys, or else I'm going to send Sid, because I can't beat either of you.
Go Tom.
All right.
How about
you go first. I was first last
All right,
time.
I'll start with Patrice.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any tattoos, and if you do, that's fine. If you could get a tattoo of anything, what would it be and where would you put it?
Woo! Other side of my it. The other side of it. This is the painful one, but I already got one, and I don't really care, so it's okay. And I think I got a gorilla.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A silverback.
The silverback. I know why. Awesome.
I like that.
This guy must be my brother from another mother. I actually have a silverback on my back already. So yes,
That's great.
That's good. I like that. Okay. If you could pick any location in the world to have your title fight at, where are you picking?
Montreal.
Okay.
Home. Montreal.
Like
if you give me a second option, I'll probably go to 80. 80. That'd be the best thing, but I put it back in Montreal. I think there's a long time Montreal didn't have a big world title in Montreal. They actually have the BF one, but it's like Quebec. We want it in Montreal now.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. All right, all the fans of Montreal. That's why you got to rep this guy. He wants to bring it home. Yeah, he didn't say Vegas.
Yep.
He didn't say, he said Montreal. I love it.
And how about you, Jay?
You asked the same question?
Yeah, I'm asking the same question. I like the question.
Okay.
Well, I guess to be honest with you, it would be a really tough one. I think home is always one of those things that has a significance. For me, where it all started in Halifax, Nova Scotia, I'm sure I'd be the first heavyweight world title there. And to be infamous and famous all in the same would be quite an interesting event, I think. But I think as well I would have to say Halifax, just because I know how rich the culture is. Going back to like the George Dixon days, the first African Canadian world champion coming out of Nova Scotia, I would love to be part of that history as well.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like it. Thanks.
Okay, so I know that you're a bridger weight, but let's say you heavyweight, all right? So I'm going to give you some heavyweights.
Okay.
If you could get in the ring, yeah. Not maybe you're just going to get in the ring because you just want to get in the ring with them. I'm not saying you're going to beat them, but you could get in the ring. I mean, you're three heavyweights.
Okay.
Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, or George Foreman. Which one would you want to get in the ring with? George Foreman, Mike Tyson, or Lennox Lewis?
Wow, the last lineal heavyweight champion, Lennox, that would be pretty amazing. My former coach was one of his coaches at the Olympics, so there's some ties there. Tyson would be my size. That'd probably be the easiest fight, realistically. But then again, it's like George. George has a record that I want, and that's the oldest heavyweight champion in the world. And what was George, 46 when he came back?
I think it was 44.
42.
For some reason, I feel like 44.
Yeah, I thought too. It was like 44. So realistically, by the time I just graduated to the 10-round level, so
Nice.
Not as good. I've grinded my way up to the 10-round level, and next fight would be for the Canadian title, and that one's George Chevello's record, and that's the one that really means a lot to me. I'm coming for that one as the oldest Canadian heavyweight champion, and realistically, to answer your question, it would probably be George, because George would be the guy that he has the record I have a possibility of attaining. Right? I know lineal heavyweight champ. That's way out of the cards there. but maybe the stars aligned and somehow, you know, there's got to only be a handful of guys ahead of me in the world in the Bridgerweight division or classic heavyweight, which is what it should have really been called, Canadian Professional Boxing Council. But the reality is that I believe I got a shot. I know I need to get a coach. I got to figure that sort of stuff out, and I got to get a team behind me. You know what I mean? I'm unsigned and independent.
I'm sorry. Somebody I know is looking for a heavyweight.
I usually been looking for a young 6'6", 250-pound guy, not a 40-year-old.
It is looking for a heavyweight. That would be, you know.
But I gotta get the recovery pod. So this is all I
okay,
get. I get the recovery pod. It's a done deal.
Okay,
Recovery pod. I know he's in.
Okay, so I'll research that later.
Research it later.
You let us know when you're able to fly down. Danny, I did see that you wanted to join our live. We would love to do an entire live with just you on your own as well. So Danny, are you okay if we steal Jaye down here, train him? We've got a coach. Hey, manager decisions. Okay, let us know. Patrice, please come down and spar with us again.
Let's do it.
Actually, I would I would also really appreciate another sparring session with Patrice myself, because I feel that it wouldn't be as embarrassing as the first one that I had.
Oh no, you improved a lot.
Yeah, I've gotten a little better.
Everybody's calling you out today, Patrice. What's going on, man? You better get back in there, man.
I will. 100%. That's for sure.
Yeah. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure and honor because, you know, being an ex-professional fighter, knowing the dedication, the risk, like people don't get, like, it's, you know what I mean? The heart that it takes to even get in that ring and in front of all these people and put, you know, your skills, say, I want to match my skills against you. And, you know, like Patrice says, take that person's will. You want them to quit. Like, that's just the way it is. It's a very naked place to be because everything's on the line. And you guys do it, and you do it willingly, and you do it well. And so I just wish you both continued success. May you get the training, may you get the fighting, may you get the opportunities that you want, and just keep working, guys, and it'll come, man. So just don't stop. Stay in the gym, all right?
And, yeah, really appreciate you guys giving us the time and joining us. It's always a pleasure to see you both and be able to talk, you know, all things boxing, really.
Things
boxing. It's Boxing Day.
Got it.
Right? Love it.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, Patrice, for sharing the interview with me. I look forward to hopefully meeting you in person sometime soon, my friend.
Absolutely. Big thank you. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, Jaye. And congrats on your last fight. Congrats on your big win. We did see the fight. So big congrats on it. Well deserved, champ. And so we still, and for sure, Jaye, we'll send the gym. And if I had the chance, anytime I had the chance, and I will come see you guys back at it, back to the sparring session. We do it again.
All
and
right.
Much love to all of you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Enjoy, everybody. We look forward to seeing you soon. I don't know. Are you joining us? Are you on?
We'll make it happen. I mean, I'll be in Colombia.
So there we go.
In Colombia, but
it'll be another world tour.
Maybe another world tour.
Tour.
Maybe I'll grab some of the athletes there from
that would be great.
Canada, and we'll
that would be a good time.
Make it happen from Colombia.
All right, guys. So 2 weeks from now, we will see everybody again. And Patrice and Jaye, thank you very much for joining us.
See ya.
Have a great Thursday.